Hey, folks, welcome back. Today is October 15th. That means half of the month is over with. Good news is I've only got two more Oktoberfest beers to review. Now, I don't have a Leeuwenbräu, I believe that's how you, Lowenbräu, to be able to review. I don't have Augustiner. I don't even have Spaten Oktoberfest beer. Now, I do have a Spaten that we're going to review coming up shortly, but I did want to review Paulaner. How about that? Paulaner is one of the six that is allowed to be there at the Munich Oktoberfest. Paulaner Oktoberfest Bier. Now, I'm not going to fill it in my big Moss. As you can see, this is what they call a Moss. You remember I mentioned that last time in one of the beer specs. This one I bought, it has the Paulaner logo on it, and I've got a full liter of Paulaner that later on this month I am going to fill this up with, and I'm going to enjoy it, and it's just going to be so good. But I'm not going to be drinking out of this one today. I'm going to be drinking out of another glass. So, stay tuned. I'll be right back. In the meantime, I will say, we're going to dig into this Paulaner Oktoberfest beer, and we're going to find out what makes this tick, okay? And we're going to do it on... Okay, folks, and we're back. Yes, and I have my normal mug here. I'm not going to drink out of the big Moss. That thing probably wouldn't fit maybe a third of it. Maybe not even a half. It is 11.2 ounces of beer. So, yeah, it would not have filled even half of that big Moss. But I went on ahead, and now I'm just drinking out of my little dimpled mug. It's a very simple thing. Believe it or not, found it at the Dollar Tree. I figured, hey, what the heck, right? It works just fine, and yes, it is. It is chilled, just like the other one. It is chilled. It's got a lot of good condensation on it. It just makes it look good. Now, it doesn't have to be. I definitely do not like it frosty. I've already explained that before. It gives it a little bit of an oxidation flavor to it. But we are going to be reviewing the Paulaner Oktoberfest beer. Again, that's one of the six beers that's allowed in the Munich Oktoberfest. Very special beer, too. It's got a lot of history. And it's a sister beer to Hackabschor. Okay, it is going to be, and you may have seen this in the one that I did of Hackabschor, that it is the sister of it, and the building has both the Hackabschor logo and the Paulaner logo. It's too early for my mouth to work. Anyhow, we are going to get into this, and quality and heritage brewed with uncompromising standards that strictly adhere to the Reinheitsgebot. Beer purity law, using only the four ingredients, the water, hops, yeast, and malt, for nearly 400 years. I've said this before, and I will say it again. These Germans, they just know how to brew these beers. Okay? I mean, come on. These are going to be classics. It's like seeing a Corvette, a classic Corvette, or a classic Mustang, or just anything that's classic. Mercedes-Benz classic. I mean, come on. An Aston Martin. I mean, these are going to be exceptional beers no matter when or where you have them. Okay? Now, we're going to go ahead. We're going to crack the lid on this. Hopefully we can hear it. I'll see what I can do to enhance the sound a bit. And we're going to do that real quick. Let's go see what we hear. Okay, well, a little bit of a pop to it. That's okay. Sometimes these aren't very carbonated, so you're not going to get a lot of psst when it comes out, okay? But this is going to be beautiful. Since 1634 is what it says on the bottle. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pour this slightly off center and then bring it up, because last time I overflowed my mug. So, you know, I'm going to pour it a little bit here, and I'm looking at it, and then I'm going to start to pour it down the center. Give it a little bit of that nice, good German foam, good head on it. Yes, absolutely. Not too bad. I think I got it pretty much pretty much there where I needed it. It was not a lot of beer, of course. This is just in a bottle. I'm sure you can get different sizes. In fact, I believe you may be able to get this on tap in a number of different places. But let's just take it. Well, first of all, we're going to do the 5 categories. So let's do the aroma. Now, this and the Hackabschor are going to have roughly the same flavor and nose profile. They're brewed at the same place, or at least they should be. That's what I understand. From what I can see here, they are at this moment sister companies. So they're going to share technology. They're going to share some ingredients as much as what they can get. So their flavor profiles should be relatively the same. Not completely, because these guys here have their own recipe. I'm sure they have their own brewmasters. I'm sure they have their own techniques. But I'm sure they're also going to share a lot of the same technology and interact with one another in terms of their brewing styles. So I can smell the hops. I can smell the malt. Yes, absolutely, and it's a relatively lighter color. We'll get to the appearance in a minute. I mean, it's with the bubbles that are coming up and then they're releasing, you're going to get a lot of that good, nice, beautiful German beer smell. Again, ever smell it, you'll never forget it. Okay? It's a wonderful, wonderful smell. It's almost like eating venison, or it's almost like eating a certain type of vegetable. You're going to have that taste in your brain, in your memory from here on out. Okay, so it's unmistakable. Very clean smell. It's not overly hopped. It's not overly malty, but it just has a good, clean smell to it. And that's what makes this beer very special. Now, as for the appearance, we talked about the head. The head came up to about, I'm going to say, about right here. Okay, this is not a nice white pen, but at least you can see it about up to here. It's not very carbonated. Okay, so there's not a lot of bubbles. There's not a lot of gas coming up. The bubbles that are remaining on the top are very fine. They came up, they were medium to fine. They were just absolutely paper white. Okay. And again, the retention of bubbles is not a defining measure of a beer, unless that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for a nice head that retains, then it needs to be to that style. So I'm always going to say that. A beer needs to adhere to the style. If you say this is a beer like this and it's completely different, I'm sorry, you lost me. Okay. I'm more of the, if you want to talk about beer purity, my Reinheitsgebot is it's got to be right there to style. Okay. So, anyhow, so we're going to look at the appearance here. So the color, let's go with the color there. Hopefully you can see the color there. It's about an SRM of 3, maybe 4. Okay, these are going to be Oktoberfest. Remember, these are going to be Märzens. They're going to be brewed a little bit lighter in color. They're going to be brewed so that they're not heavy. They're going to be brewed so that they don't cloy. They don't just stick with you. They don't make you feel heavy. So they're going to be lighter in color. Yes, they're going to be lighter in flavor. Well, yeah, okay. They're not going to not have flavor. They are going to have an abundance of flavor. Okay. So we've talked about the appearance. We've seen the color. Hopefully you can see it on the video here. We know that the head, and it's still got a layer of bubbles on the top. And I'm going to say they're not coming up from a little bit. Not too many are coming up from the bottom. So again, not extremely carbonated. We know this. I don't see that there's any Brussels lace. Okay, maybe you can see it, maybe you can't. Against this black sheet here, you may see a little bit of the foam around here, a little bit of the head around here, but I don't see, maybe I do. Okay, maybe a little bit of Brussels lace along right here. And again, not a measure of a good beer. So, we've got the appearance. Now, let's get to the taste. This is the important part. Yes, absolutely. Now, I will say this is a little bit more carbonated when it hits your mouth than any of the other ones. The Hackabschor and the Hofbräu. Did I get it right? Hofbräu? Yeah. Okay. They're shaking their head. They're saying, "Yeah, you got it right this time." Yeah. Thank you for not speaking. Anyway, but it's got a lot more carbonation to it than would be the Hackabschor. And it lends to a lot cleaner taste. It's almost going to cleanse your palate, okay? But as far as the taste, I don't taste as much of the hops, not even on the backside. I do taste some good malt sweetness. And I believe that also is very reminiscent of the Hackabschor in the sense of that it's going to give me a little bit of that flavor profile, it being the sister company, as well. It's going to simply reflect what a Märzen is. It's going to be a little bit sweeter, but still retains that nice, good, clean, I don't want to say dry, clean drinkability. And that's what I think I'm tasting here. Not a bad beer, of course, you know. Yes. Now, it doesn't hit you with a bunch of flavor. Again, it's not going to be overly hoppy flavor. You do feel it a slight bit. Now, it doesn't have that, and I apologize, that slight metallic flavor on or the mouthfeel, the taste right at the end. It doesn't have that as it would be some of the other beers that we've tried. That's fine. I could sit here and drink this at Oktoberfest pretty much all day. I wouldn't feel good the night after, but you get the idea. But it's a very smooth beer. It's a lot smoother than some of the ones that I've had before. So again, the taste of it is wonderful. Okay, malty, not as much hoppy. As for the mouthfeel, I think I mentioned this before. It definitely has a very clean mouthfeel to it, not cloying. It's not going to sit in your mouth. It's not going to make you gummy. Okay. Some beers you'll drink them and you go, I need some water with this. This is too gummy. Blah. You know, or it may feel heavy. Like, oh, I can only drink one because, oh my gosh, it just sits on me. It's like eating a big bowl of pasta, you know? Oh, I love to burp beer. It's just lovely. So, mouthfeel, very clean. Now, overall impression. It is Oktoberfest. I shouldn't even have to bother with saying what my impression of this is. It's going to be excellent. Anything having to do with a German beer, and especially an Oktoberfest beer, because they're brewed specifically for the experience of going to Oktoberfest. That being said, I mean, come on, you gotta love it. If you can find it, if you can still find it, it is past Oktoberfest. If you can find it at a location, I think I've had this at at a pub one time on tap, and if you can find it, get it. Okay, I love to taste this out of the tap as opposed to out of the bottle here. Anyhow, the next is the beer specs, and we're going to learn a little bit more about either glassware or Paulaner. I think we're going to briefly talk about Paulaner. Other than that, here are the beer specs.
Paulaner Brewery's historic roots are deeply embedded in the rich tapestry of Munich's brewing heritage. The brewery's origin dates back to 1634, when it was established by the Minim monks. The Minim friars, a religious order within the Roman Catholic Church, are credited with the creation of this venerable institution. At its inception, Paulaner Brewery was situated in the former Neudeck Castle, which added a touch of historical grandeur to its foundation. The Minim monks, with their dedication to brewing, laid the foundation for what would become one of Munich's most renowned beer manufacturers. Over the centuries, their brewing techniques evolved, but the commitment to quality and tradition remains steadfast. This dedication to preserving brewing customs and craftsmanship has contributed significantly to the brewery's enduring success. During its long history, the brewery faced various challenges, including fires, wars, and changing political landscapes. However, it managed to weather these storms and continue to thrive, preserving the traditions passed down by the Minim monks. Paulaner Brewery boasts an extensive and diverse range of brews, catering to a wide spectrum of beer enthusiasts. One of their most celebrated offerings is the traditional Bavarian Weiss beer, a wheat beer that exudes a refreshing and slightly fruity flavor. This beer is a staple in the Paulaner portfolio and is enjoyed by locals and visitors alike. In addition to Weiss beer, Paulaner offers their Salvator Doppelbock, a darker and more robust option with a malty sweetness and hints of caramel, perfect for those seeking a bolder beer experience. Paulaner Brewery holds a special place in Munich's cultural landscape as it is one of the 6 breweries at Oktoberfest. A Maßkrug, often simply referred to as a Maß, is an iconic and traditional German beer mug with a remarkable history. It's instantly recognized by its hefty 1-liter capacity. The Maßkrug, shortened to Maß in German, literally translates to measure, as it measures out a full liter of beer. Typically made of heavy glass or stoneware, these mugs are adorned with various decorative elements and often bear the logo or branding of the brewery. Paulaner Oktoberfest Bier. Paulaner Oktoberfest Bier is a traditional Märzen. Märzen is a lager style known for its amber color and smooth, malty flavor. The ABV of Paulaner Oktoberfest Bier typically falls into the range of 5.8 to 6% alcohol. It has a rich amber color, which is a characteristic feature of Märzen beers, around SRM 4. This beer pairs well with traditional Bavarian cuisine, including pretzels, sausages, roast chicken, and hearty German dishes. It complements the flavor of these foods with its malt-forward profile.
Okay, folks. Well, that is all for the review today. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for staying so long here too, and I really appreciate it. Hopefully you learned something in the beer specs. I know I always do. So that's always a fun thing to have around. Anyhow, again, thank you for being here. Remember, subscribe. I think I got it on the right side. Did I? Did I get it on the right side? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, right side. So subscribe, right? Ring that notification bell. Give us a thumbs up. Give us some love. Tell us what you want us to do next. If you've got a suggestion, down below the description, down below the little doobly-doo. How about that? Let us know what your thoughts are. If there's a beer you want us to review, if you want us to do something different, please let us know. Communicate with us. We love it. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, remember, the beer review logbook off of Amazon. The best little book for $8.99. Yes, you could keep your beer reviews in there. If you happen to have, an encounter with a nice lady, it's a little black book. So no one tells you can't do that. I'm kidding. It's all for beer. You write your experiences down there whenever you visit a brewery or whenever you visit a venue. You can write them down there and record that. And remember what you experienced. If you're ever in the upstate, remember the Upstate Ale Trail. Okay, this is a book you can find at just about any brewery, just more or less any place where they sell a good amount of beer, sometimes tap rooms and stuff like that. But it'll give you a listing of local breweries in the upstate, and I think I've seen them in different areas. You mentioned that last time: Asheville, Raleigh, the Triangle, the Triad in Greensboro. Maybe down in Columbia, maybe down in Myrtle Beach, or maybe down in Charleston area, maybe down in Georgia, maybe in Atlanta, maybe up in Tennessee, Knoxville, or Chattanooga, or perhaps in Nashville. Who knows? I want to find out a little bit more about this. I may have to contact them. I'll get back with you on that. But anyway, the Ale Trail series, so allows you to write your experiences there. It's going to give you the same 5 categories in a very condensed form for you to write your experiences whenever you go to a local brewery or venue, like a tap room. Can't say enough about this book right here. It's just lovely. This is my little pocket Bible of beer. This is the Total Wine, Total Guide to Beer. I do not know if it is still in print. Okay, I'd love to find that out. I'm still trying to find out if they have it. I think they have it in electronic form. If not, hey, email them. Go to Total Wine. Say, hey, listen, do you have this? Or is there some electronic form that I can download? It's wonderful. It's my little Bible. I mean, I'm going to say that over and over and over again. As well, down below in the description, you're going to see a link to the Beer Judge Certification Program, beer score sheet. Now, one day I'm going to be talking about the Beer Judge Certification program here. What that does is that educates beer drinkers as well as beer judges. So if you're interested, you go, you pass the certification, and you can become a beer judge. You can go to all these festivals and say, this is to style. Remember, I mentioned that I like my beers to style. It gives you the 5 categories. You can always write your experiences down. You can fold it up, put it in your pocket, take it with you. And then, of course, you can transcribe it into here. Okay, so you want to be able to record your experiences at a brewery or at a venue. Okay, this is when you're going on your beer hunts. If you're out on your own, I don't know if you want to carry all that, but it also gives you the off flavors. It helps you diagnose what you're tasting. If you taste an off flavor to it, you're going to be able to find it here. These are pretty much the general flavor profiles of beers and beer issues. Beer Judge certification, beer score sheet. Definitely download that and definitely print it out on your own. Down there in the description, I'm going to get that out of there so it's not too bright. Anyhow, again, thank you for being here today. Thank you for letting me review the Paulaner Oktoberfest Bier. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I know I did. I'm still enjoying it right here. Remember, subscribe. Okay, we want you to subscribe. We want you to be a part of this group here. Let us know, right, what you think. Let us know what you want us to do. Other than that, I definitely want to say thank you again. And Prost! Chin chin! Kanpai! Salud! And of course from America. Cheers. Lovely. Still, even after this amount of time, it's still a lovely beer. Anyhow, peace, love, and beer.